Hello, everybody. It's your girl, Miracle Sims, and you are watching God, Sex, and Love. Tonight, I have brought back this lovely lady. Her name is Daniece Gilbert. We're going to just have a one-on-one chat, maybe a bit of a freestyle, so I hope you all enjoy it. And if you're ready to hear a little girl chat, then stay tuned. Welcome back to God, Sex, and Love. I have Miss Daniece Gilbert back. Hey, Miss Daniece, how you doing?
Hello. Thank you for having me on. You are truly a blessing to God's kingdom.
Oh, man. Thank you so much for being here, man. I'm excited about the conversation that we had last time, and then I'm excited to have you back this time. I hear you're a Renaissance woman. You know, I love fellow entrepreneurs. Can you tell the people all your endeavors, things that you do, Miss Daniece?
I literally forget some of the time, so you guys bear with me. But I do sell life insurance. So if anybody needs life insurance, you can definitely hit me up on Facebook. It's Daniece Gilbert, and I would definitely give you a quote. My insurance company, we're definitely giving affordable for you and your family. So you could definitely hit me up on that aspect. I also am a life coach. So I specialize right now in dealing with, young women, but I can help anyone. So if you're someone that's looking to get your life on track and to get your purpose on the road, and, I am faith-based. I'm sorry. So, I am a life coach if you need help in that department, overcoming some of the things that are holding you back. I can help you move forward and get some of your goals together. I also, right now, I have t-shirts. It's a movement because of all of the tension that is going on because of voting. I have started a movement. It's called Jesus 2020 Movement. And this is my shirt, and it's only $13. I do have men and women shirts, so you can look me up on Jesus 2020 Movement, and that's on Facebook. And then you can write me, inbox me, and I'll definitely get you a shirt going. It's only $13, so it's really nice. We have men and women sizes. So, like I said, I have so much going. I said life insurance, life coach, my shirts. And I know it was something. I am a part of Limitless Faith. We have a page also on Facebook. We also have a website at www.limitlessfaith.one. We have a website. You can look us up. We have a podcast where we talk about, basically, we're young millennials talking about everything that we're anything, relevant topics. Right now, our latest episode was with an author that was dealing with he went from timid to confident. So we're talking about supernatural confidence, and when God puts you out there. So if you're a person that needs that supernatural confidence, and God is waking you up with your purpose and you're confident, you're kind of scared, you're on the safe side, you're trying to wonder, hey, do I step out there? That definitely would be something that you need to listen to, and is very it hits with the information for you. We also have another where we have psychologists on there. I mean, we definitely have topics for days that are something that the millennials are interested in. But I thank you, Miracle, for having me on today. You're truly amazing.
Oh man, girl! Look, after that list, you amazing. All the things you got going on, lady. Shoot, but I love that though. I like I said, I love to see other entrepreneurs. I have no problem with shouting people out, because I think it's an amazing thing too, especially when you're operating your gift too, and your whatever you feel like God is having you to do in your purpose. I just think it's a beautiful thing to see people walking in that. I know I kind of was talking about the same topic on our podcast. Plug. But yeah, I pretty much do like daily inspiration, and I call it the juice. And the interesting thing is like every morning I'll get up at 4 a.m. I'll do some little working out or whatever, and then after I do that, I'll pray and meditate, and then after I do that, then I'll just wait for God to give me a topic, but then I'll go and talk about it, or find of course the Bible and stuff like that. And the crazy thing was just, girl, I done shared the whole story on on the podcast, whatever. So I don't want to like bore people with the story if they heard it already. But long story short, God, Sex, and Love. This has been on my mind for like years, and I was trying my best to, do my best to work towards getting it or creating the show is what was in my mind. And then 2019, the way people are looking at 2020, that's what 2019 was for me. It was very rough, and but in the midst of that, I was trying to open up this venue and all this different stuff. And then, of course, I was like, okay, I'm using the venue for the dinner shows, but then I'm also going to use it to film the show, because I'm going to use it for whatever I want to do. But long story short, it was like very hard to even get the place open. And so finally got it open like at the beginning of this year, and then boom, COVID hit. So then we only had a few more months left on the lease. So clearly we just ended up just not renewing and all that stuff. And so, of course, you're sitting there wondering, like, well, why this, why that, or whatever the case is. But next thing I know, I think with 2020 and COVID and everything like that, I feel like it just was this moment to sit down, to really, really reflect. And I guess God just was like, the funny thing is, long story short again, my husband told me, I want to say last year, I was telling him about God, Sex, and Love. I was like, I think I might make it a blog instead of a show. I was like, I think I might make it a blog. And he's like, you should do a podcast. And I'm like, you keep adding to my plate. Like I keep saying I want to do one thing, and then you add another thing that you feel like I need to do. So that's kind of where I put it at that point. But then when I'm sitting down at home with nothing else to do because my business was on hold and all this stuff, COVID hit, the idea about podcasts came around again. And so once I looked it up, I was like, I guess it's easier than I thought. I can, get this app and put the podcast out or whatever the case was. And so started April 1st. And like I said, I put it out there as daily inspiration, not really knowing if I was going to do it every day. Like I was like, oh, maybe I'll do this for a week, or maybe I'll do this for, however many days or something like that. Or maybe I'll just do it until COVID ends. Like now I was thinking something like that. But literally it's been it's over 200 days. I pretty much do every day except Sunday. And it's just been a blessing that I'm like, God, are you going to have something for me to say every day? Like, but he has, and it's a lot of stuff like you were just saying about, being confident and walking in your gifts. And I know this week it's been a lot of different stuff. Y'all got to tune in to the juice and listen to all that. But I guess I say all of that to say, like, how do you feel in regards to COVID and everything like that? Like, are you feeling like you're in your purpose now? Are you getting there? Or like, how do you feel about where you are?
I feel like, to be honest with you, and what you just said resonated with me so much. To be honest with you, it comes a time, especially when you're walking in your gift and your purposes, your purpose to where you feel as if a certain uncertainty, like you were just saying, Miracle, I literally, resonated with that. God, are you going to give me something to talk about every day? Are the people going to hear what I'm saying? Are they going to react to what I'm saying? Are they going to download my podcast? Are they going to read the blog? Whatever it is that you're doing. And by the way, I think you should do all three. That's more work for you on your plate. I'm sorry. But, you literally just have to trust God and trust that the Holy Spirit is moving on your behalf, speaking through you, and you just have to move forward. You just have to have that supernatural confidence and just move forward, and do what it is that God called you to do, and trust the gift. Your gift will make room for you. So, and I've been in that space of uncertainty. Trust me, every other day, I've just gotten to a place. I'm literally going to be honest with you guys within the last few days, with you, and say that I have gotten to a space to where, I trust the calling that God has given me. I trust my gifts that he's given me, that this is going to get him the glory out of what it is that we're doing. So Miracle, whatever he places and leaves on your heart, I think you should obviously step out there and do it. Or anybody that's listening, step out there and do what it is that he's called you to do, those gifts, those purposes. Don't worry about how it's going to do, who's going to react, who's listening to what you're saying. Just step out there and do it. And you may not get the reaction at first, what you're looking for. You may not blow up overnight, as they state, but just go ahead and continue to do it. And God, your gift, and God will start making room for you, and people will start looking at what you're doing. Trust me. But it's not about you. I don't care if you touch one person to 1,000. The point is, you're doing what God called you to do, and it'll make room for you, and it'll start succeeding and going off as but it's for him, it's not for you. You have to get out of that, oh, well, am I looking a certain way? And, you should give it your best. You should look your best. You should, whatever it is. But, make sure that whatever it is that you're doing, once you step out into that ministry, or you're speaking on behalf of God, or as an ambassador, or, a kingdom citizen, as we were just stating, make sure that God is getting the glory out of whatever it is that you're doing, and that's pretty much it. You're basically, a mouthpiece for God. You're basically the person that's speaking on behalf of God. You're pushing people into his kingdom. You're reminding people to praise and worship him in whatever it is that you're doing. So, Miracle, keep up the good work, at God, Sex, and Love. Those are topics that definitely I think our people think about, even if they want to, agree to it or not, that we think about every single day. So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Sister Break for sure, because I also feel like at this time in our life, I don't know if it's just 2020 or what, but I feel like when it comes to Christians, we need to be bold, like not afraid to, speak the truth and say what it is that was, thus say the Lord, or whatever God has us to say and do, because I just feel like it's just so important. And that's what it came to when it came to the platform and everything like that. I just was like, at the end of the day, the more we as Christians try to brush things under the rug or act like we're perfect or whatever the case is, then the more that we're not discussing I don't know where I left off, but I think I was just saying something along the lines of like, we just need to be bold. We need to be bold, walk in our gifts, and do and say what thus say the Lord, because I just feel like it's just so important, especially when you hear the opposite end of the spectrum being so loud and taking over and making it seem like all the world is in agreement with them when that's not the truth, So yeah, I mean, that's just a little bit about that, but yeah. So your mic is not on.
That's why I was just telling you, it is so important for, like-minded individuals to be together, just like how we were tonight. You know what I mean? With the other individuals, we were loud because the Holy Spirit had told each and every one of us, had allowed us to see, what God was stating and saying. So we could proudly say, this is what thus said the Lord, as you just stated. So, I mean, it's just truly amazing how I don't even know these guys, but the Holy Spirit had revealed to each and every one of you guys, what thus said the Lord. So we all were able to see that God, and literally it's friends that I have not talked to or I have not chatted with about a certain topic, and we would get on the phone and literally, I've been praying about this, or God revealed this to me. God revealed the same thing to me. You know what I mean? So it's truly amazing. Like, God would not leave us, blind, or he will not leave us ignorant to what, the devices of the devil or what's going on. So all you have to do is really connect with God, have that relationship with God. So, I was just telling you, like, it's truly amazing. We have to connect with those like-minded individuals, especially in the world. The world is bold. The world is not taking no mess. The world is going to tell you what it's saying. The world and they'll definitely come down on, they get down, or did you vote, or whatever it is, going on. They definitely will be, trying to make sure they come down on you and start a whole mob about it, so we have to be just as bold. And I know it's easily said than done, because sometimes when it's one of us, just like how we all connected together, tonight, if it's one of us, we like, oh, well, did God say this or did I say that? How can I come out and say, oh, Daniece said, oh no, but God told me, but it's only just me. So now that I hear my brother and my sister Miracle saying it, it's like, oh, thus said the Lord, because I know it's confirmed, because he confirmed with so-and-so, 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 so thus said the Lord. You know what I mean? So we have to be really confirmed when God is, we have to be reassured when God tells you something, to step out. Don't be scared. Don't second guess yourself. Step out there, say that, and be bold. Walk in his boldness. God is not scared. God is not a God of fear. So we have to step out there. The devil isn't fearful. They definitely working, day and night, hours, every single day, Miracle. So we got to step out there,
I totally agree. And I know there's some technical difficulties tonight. I feel like the devil is mad. See, Lord. No, I was kidding. Choke me up right now. Don't even want me to talk right now. But the devil, he don't want us to have this conversation right now. But y'all gonna get it. Whether it's a little technical difficulties. Hopefully our editor will help us out. But yeah, man, I was going to tell you that earlier too, like when it came to that previous episode, we were talking to the gentleman and everything like that. I was just going to tell you that I feel like it's a beautiful thing to hear the men talk so boldly as well, because and like being in their place, you know what I'm saying, in regards to leadership, in regards to, stuff like that. I mean, I know I don't know if I'm going to bring this up, but I know at some point we're going to talk about dating and stuff like that, but I want to say, like, when I was in my dating stage, I was kind of looking for men like that, or whatever the case is, and being like, do men like that exist? Like, do they?
But check this, Miracle. Did you see those guys on those levels, honestly, until you got into God the way you are now? Check that.
See, that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, I want to say, when I was like, I think I probably was kind of going for like either the flashy guy, the guy that made himself stand out, or something like that. And then maybe eventually I did start to think about, the godly man. But then the godly man just wanted to be friends, so it was always weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, like with all that being said, though, regardless of that, I like I said, I just think it's a beautiful thing. And like every now and then we have episodes that we call Perspective, and so it's like I'm gonna fly the wall and just listening to them talk about whatever the subject is, and it's a beautiful thing to like see it and hear. I just hope that there'll be more men that stand up and do that, because I'm sure you probably see as well that there's this push for the men to be out of the home for whatever reason, and they need to be back in the homes. They need to be fathers. They need to be husbands. They need to be in their rightful, because we see what it's like without them, and because God has a purpose for them, and that's being in their place and leading and everything like that. In my humble opinion, according to the word of God. But yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things. Like, man, like, I don't know, we can go. There's a lot of things we can talk about here. Yeah, no, I agree with you 1,000% on that. It seemed as if everybody is pushing the man out of the home. I'm definitely more of a traditional woman, to where I believe the man should be in the home and the woman should be doing the things traditionally. I just agree with that, more so than this new age thing. I do not subscribe to it. No offense to those who do. I do believe that women can get an education and, and work and all of those things. But,
the basis of what a woman should do for me is to be a nurturer, you know, is to take care of the family. So those are the things that I believe. I believe the man should be the head of the household, you know, and the woman should basically be the neck, you know. So that's what I think works best. I don't think it could be two leaders, two women. I don't like, you know, where the women be, you know, into a masculine energy. A woman should always operate in a feminine space, and allow a man to be a man. And that man should submit to God, and then you shall submit to him. So those are some of the things that I believe as far as with dating, what you should be looking for, or when it comes to regard to marriage. But like we were stating earlier, Miracle, like, you know, you don't really see those things until you're solidified in God, until you give your life to Christ, and then you understand who you are as his daughter, and then you start looking for things that really align with what thus said the Lord, versus, you know, like we were stating back in the day when we were looking for, you know, the flashier guy, or the guy we thought was fine with the, you know, looking for, you know, the futures of the world, you know, back then. That's what mattered, you know. No offense to future, but so, you know, that's what mattered back then. But now we're looking for a guy that submits to God, a guy that, you know, wants a family and wants to commit, and, you know, all of those things that, you know, that we deem more important now, that align with what, you know, God says.
And I mean, and then I guess the thing is that women should know that these type of things do exist. Because like I said, for me, in my day, I feel like I just was praying for whoever my husband was, like not knowing who he was, not knowing if this type of man really existed, you know, and everything. And, you know, now my husband, don't get me wrong now, neither one of us are perfect. Like, I'm not no perfect wife. He's not perfect, you know, we're not perfect, but I feel like he is perfect for me. And I mean, I guess he feels the same. And just knowing that we had that balance, he supports me, and vice versa. And you know, I was gonna say, like, I'm trying to push him, because obviously he's a man, and he's doing what he has to do as the man to provide and everything like that. But at the same time, it kind of bothers me to see him not necessarily really do the things he wants to do. You know, he's kind of just doing a job because, you know. And for me, I've always, even if I got a job, it always centered around whatever it was that I want to do. Because that's my perspective of, like, okay, this is the type of job I, you know, because there are jobs available in the lane that I want to be in, you know. But that's just me. I mean, maybe I'm more risky in that way. But even more so,
that's up to the individuals. With, like you were stating, it's up to the individuals. You decided to always go for something that you wanted to do. So I think individually we have to decide, hey, I'm going to step in my calling. I'm going to step into what I'm good at, what I'm skilled at, what makes me happy every day. I think ultimately, individually, we have to decide, you know, on stepping out there. You know, there's literally no other way to say it. You have to stop being safe. You have to take risks and just step out there and do what it is that you're called to do. And you have to be willing to just take that risk. So,
yeah, I mean, because at the end of the day, for me, I always looked at it like, you know, if I try and fail, that's one thing. But I just don't want to go through life not trying at all and then be wondering what if at the end of the day. Like, that's just been my perspective on everything. But even with, like I said, I guess maybe that's why I was sharing the whole thing, because stepping out on faith about the podcast, next thing I know, boom, a door open for the talk show. You know what I mean? And now, I mean, I shot it on other podcasts. I guess this is my first time telling it on here, but basically, eventually now I'm a talent scout for the network. And you know what I mean? So it's like, God is just opening doors, and you know, I have many other ideas and things and endeavors I want to do, but you know, I'm just seeing him work especially throughout this year. So I'm just like, you know, I'm just gonna keep trying to do what I can and keep stepping out on faith. And like I said, even last year was still stepping out on faith, just because it was like, you know, it was hard and it was rough, because it was like, man, like, it seems like doors keep trying to close when I know God told me to go ahead and move and do this, but doors keep closing or things keep
when you get in those moments, what for the callers who's listening, when you get in those moments, what made you say like, hey, this needs to be done. I need to do this. I need to move forward. Like, what in that moment, where do you find yourself and what makes you push forward?
Which one? You mean like when things was rough and I was like, I see doors closing, but I still feel like, well, honestly, one of the things is knowing for me, besides I feel like the things I need to keep moving in, because anything that isn't good or whatever the case is, I never get no roadblocks. You know, right? But like things, well, not even just that, but it's like those things that make you doubt or whatever. But my thing, like, okay, I know God told me to do this or X, Y, and Z, and He opened the door for me to do it. It may not be, and then the result may not be what I thought it was going to be, but at the end of the day, I got to know that that God's plan is bigger than mine. Because even now, looking back, like I said, 2019, and when I was going through all that stuff, I'm like, man, why is this happening? Like, I know you opened the door for me to be able to get the venue, for example. Opened the door for me to be able to get the venue, but then we couldn't get approved, or the people that owned the venue didn't want to work on it, or whatever they was doing, And I'm like, why are we going through this? Why in the world? Like, and went from one situation to another. But then when you know that because of all that stuff we went through last year, and because I had to do everything to get the business up to date and everything so we could open the venue and stuff, lo and behold, when COVID hit, guess who could be able to take advantage of this small business stuff that was going on? Because your love has set me free. I'm alive. Believe in me.
There's no time to get my nails done. Oh, I know. I went to unwindselfcare.com and got my 100% nail polish strips. Thanks, Unwind Self-Care.
Thank you so much for watching God, Sex, and Love, and thank you so much to Miss Daniece Gilbert for joining me for this conversation. Friends, I hope you all are encouraged and inspired, and we look forward to having another wonderful episode of God, Sex, and Love next week. Bye-bye. You know that because of all that stuff we went through last year, and because I had to do everything to get the business up to date and everything so we could open the venue and stuff, lo and behold, when COVID hit, guess who could be able to take advantage of this small business stuff that was going on?
You see, so and that's a full word, what you just said, Miracle, because you just stated it wasn't the results that you deemed for that one thing, but you being obedient to God opened up a door for a whole nother revenue, or for you to get income for, you know what I mean? So now you can able to do what it is He called you to do just from you being obedient. But see, everything that God tells us to do, it may not look like how we want it to look. It may not be within that timing. That one thing that you failed, that may open the door for something else. Wow. I mean,
and then actually with you just saying that, I'm sitting here like, well, dang, like, because also, like I told you guys, well, I think I told you earlier, that basically I was opening up the venue with the hopes of doing my show and stuff, but also in the hopes of being able to film this, right? And it wouldn't open, right? And then so God sat me down this year. I'm working less, and then what am I doing? The thing that I was trying to work to do last
I'm telling you.
I didn't even think about this just now. That
I'm telling you, Miracle, God is truly amazing. And most times we don't see what it is.
maybe
What we mostly don't see what it is he's doing. You know, we want to see everything. Like we like JG went for. I need my money now. You know what I mean? So when we don't when we don't see what it is God's doing, you know, we like, okay, God, I need to see word from word, step from step what it is you're doing. But that's not how it works. We just have to walk in faith, and we just have to trust God that everything will work for our good. And so what happened, Miracle? Everything worked for your good. In the end, are you good or no?
we good. We good.
You good. That's what I'm saying. So we want to see everything though. I mean, that's just being human. That's flesh. We want to see every single thing, but that's not how it works. And Miracle, and everything works out. You know, your platform is doing good, great, and it's going to get even bigger. And he's going to start introducing you to more and more people, and for you to, you know, to connect, and for him to get the glory, and for other people to be touched by the work that you're doing. So keep going. I mean, you're doing amazing, sister. So keep doing it. You know, keep doing amazing.
Thank you. Thanks, man. It's
No problem.
and it young, man. Like I say, young. Who knew? Like a daily podcast. Like I, you make a phrase and call it a daily dose of inspiration, not knowing that you really finna do this every day. Like you know, or even with this, the fact that it's a weekly program on a network. Like in my mind, when I was creating this in my head, I'm thinking, oh, maybe YouTube, maybe Facebook. We on the network right now. You know what I'm saying? Like this is, I mean, yeah, like you say, God's good, man. I'm just thankful and I'm grateful. And I'm just looking forward to what else he wants to do through me. You know, we don't know. Again, we don't know where everything's going because I know everything that's going on is COVID. You know, all this stuff. But the fact that doors have been opening in spite of, and you know, being able to still walk in I guess the way and just move and see still things going. It's like, I don't know. It's just a blessing every day. And I'm just, just taking it day by day, really. So, and I think we probably all are in a way.
But look how he using you to, you know, get the word out. I mean, how amazing is that? You know what I mean? I'm just so excited. And look how he connected us. And even with the other individuals, I mean, it's just truly amazing how God works. I mean, I'm always amazed. Like God does one thing, it literally could be something else, and I'm literally truly amazed. I mean, nobody's more creative than God. I mean, I can't even begin to say, like, his creativity is just pure amazing. Going over the airways with that, you putting out, you know, something, and we got connected. So now we're sisters, you know, just connected already. You know what I mean? And the other people. So I mean, God is just amazing on the you know, of the things that he can do. Do not put God in the box. You know, if you learn anything from tonight, do not put God in the box, and don't put yourself in the box, because we are made in his image. So, I mean, the sky is the limit. Have limitless faith, limitless. You know, don't put God in the box.
Exactly. That's it right there. Like that. Honestly, girl, we can just look.
Yeah.
That's all for it. That's all on this episode. No, man, I agree wholeheartedly with everything you're saying, and I'm, you know, like seeing God do amazing things through everybody too. Like I say, you got all your endeavors, like the gentleman that we spoke to, they got their things going on, and like, and it's a beautiful thing to come together as well. Actually, that made me think about, you know, like we said, like not to forsake ourselves in the assembly and stuff like that. Like, I know a lot of people got church hurt, right? A lot of people got reasons why they don't go. But this is the reasons why we should. We need to be fellowship with one another. We need to be connecting with one another to really, you know, understand that we're not alone. Like that was the main thing I felt back in the day. And maybe that was back, you know, when I was single and all that stuff, just feeling like I'm alone and I'm thinking about this stuff all the time. And am I the only one to think about, like, am I the only one looking at this from this perspective? And because even some of the shows that I was inspired by when it came to God Said Some Love, they didn't come out until I want to say years after when I was looking for it. So, you know, I needed something like this when I was single, for example, to know like, okay, there's some other people that think the way I do, or whatever the case is. But yeah, I'm excited though. I'm excited to see what God's gonna do. You know, like a lot of things, a lot of endeavors. I'm excited to, you know, get some more stuff in the works and stuff. And so, but right now, you know, the podcast and the talk show has been real good, man. I'm excited about it. I'm glad people are, you know, enjoying it, and I'm glad to have you here this evening.
Oh, thank you, sis.
Yes. I mean, I know we can go on and on and on, so I don't want to be more time and that. So if there's anything that you want to say to the people to, you know, leave them with maybe encouraging word or whatever the case is, well, what would that be, Miss Daniece Gilbert?
I will just tell you guys to just, you know, trust God, have faith. Faith is just truly amazing. Believe God, believe his word. To know his word, you got to go hear his word. Faith cometh by hearing. So you have to really get in his word and really get to know him, really have a relationship with him. There's no other relationship that's more important. I don't care if it's your mother, your father. I don't care if it's your kids. Your relationship with Christ is the most important relationship that you can have. So, you know, sometimes cut off the Facebook and all the other social media, Instagram, whatever it is that you're doing, and spend some quality time with God. I mean, he wants to hear from you. He loves you unconditionally. And you know, and just talk to him like you would you sit on the phone with your homeboy and your homegirl, you know, just talk to God and tell God what it is that's going on with you. He cares. He wants to know. So God loves you. I love you, and continue to have strong faith, and, you know, and touch others with God's love.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Daniece Gilbert. Thank you so much for joining the conversation. I look forward to having many, many more.
Yes, of course, right. Of course. This was amazing. Thank you.
This podcast has been brought to you in part by Inspirational Therapy Session Incorporated, inspiring teens since 2002.